Welcome back to Gavel Gossip. Today, we dive into an intriguing landlord-tenant dispute that has taken a dramatic turn. In this episode, witness the heated arguments over an alleged aggressive dog that could lead to an eviction. Who's telling the truth? Is it just barking or is there real danger lurking? Join us as we break down the testimony from both sides and explore the complexities of tenant rights when it comes to furry companions. Will justice prevail for the landlord, or will the tenant keep their home? Stick around to find out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any updates.
All right, next I'll call file 6467 of 2025, Jason Green versus Keegan Tackett and Krista Carnahan. Mr. Green, are you able to hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a video on your device?
Yeah, I think I do. Let me see if it works here.
Just makes it easier when I can see folks.
Yep, it seems to be working.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Tackett and Ms. Carnahan, are you able to hear okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So it's my understanding this is a complaint for possession of the premises due to a dangerous dog. And have the parties been able to work anything out in the breakout room, Mr. Green?
It doesn't seem so, no.
Okay. And the dog is still an issue, I take it?
Correct.
Okay, so Ms. Tackett, Mr. Tackett, Ms. Carnahan, did you hear the landlord-tenant rights that were read by Ms. Martin?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have any questions about those?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so it's my understanding that this is again an aggressive dog. Are you denying that?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's no evidence of that.
No. Animal control refused to even come out because the neighbor refused to present any evidence of it. Our dog was on a leash, her dog was off a leash, and her door was wide open, and her dog charged us.
Okay, let me give Mr. Green a chance to respond to that. And this is not testimony. I'm just trying to get an idea what the issues might be in a hearing. So, Mr. Green, obviously you believe the dog is a problem, and is that right?
Correct, yes.
And this doesn't involve other issues. The defendants are paying their rent on time and all that. This is just about the dog.
Correct.
Okay, so I guess we'll go ahead and take some testimony then, and I'll have to make a decision about whether this is a health hazard, and that would justify an eviction in this case. So we'll start with Mr. Green. If you could please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm this testimony you're about to give will be the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, and so you are Jason Green, the landlord at 602 Williams, Apartment 2 in Mansalona, correct?
Correct.
All right, and Mr. Tackett and Ms. Carnahan have been renting at that apartment, is that right?
Yes.
How long have they resided there?
I don't know exactly, a couple months maybe. I think sometime maybe over the summer they moved in there.
Okay, and have you received complaints about their dog?
Yes.
Can you tell me about those?
The most recent complaint was the one where the police were called. The downstairs tenant said that their dog came running out of their apartment and attacked their dog in the doorway. I went over there to see myself, evaluate the dog. I had never met the dog. When I went to the property, I asked if she could let the dog out, if I could meet the dog and kind of get an idea of its reaction. She was very hesitant to let the dog out of the apartment when I was there. She eventually did open the door. The dog came out in a sort of untrained, aggressive manner. It was intimidating. It didn't seem to be a super friendly dog, and a liability for the neighbors and the other dogs there.
In what way did it seem not friendly, I guess?
It came out, it was jumping, it barked, it wasn't wagging its tail wanting to be petted. I have dogs.
Okay, how much time did you spend with the dog?
I didn't spend a lot of time with it. I was nervous. I didn't want to spend too much time with it.
Okay, if I were to pull up a police report of that, you don't happen to have the report, do you?
Let me see if I have a copy of it. It was included in the file.
Oh, it was? Okay, let me take a look, see if I can find it.
I think I found it.
Oh, yeah, if you could.
Mansalona Police Department, is that it?
It was at the Mansalona Police Department?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll be right back. We're still on the record.
And previously, I guess the other tenants were having issues going outside, or they were afraid to take their dog out.
okay,
When I talked to the tenants about it, they said that they were going to try and move and be out by the end of the month. When we were in the breakout room, they still stated that they were trying to be out. They just needed more time.
Mhm.
okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm getting a copy of that report printed out for me. While we're doing that, is there anything else you wanted to add, Mr. Green?
Nothing that comes to mind.
Okay, so then Ms. Carnahan or Mr. Tackett, would either of you care to testify?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna swear in, Ms. Carnahan first. So if you could please raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, thank you. Put your hand down, and you are Krista Carnahan, one of the defendants in this case, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and so there's been testimony about your dog attacking the neighbor's dog, sounds like across the hall. Can you tell me what happened?
I took my dog out to go to the bathroom. He was on leash with a prong training collar. We came in through the door. She had her door wide open. Her dog rushed us at the door, pinned us to the corner. As soon as I opened the door, I shortened his leash. His head was to my thigh, and she grabbed a hold of her dog's fur. It's one of those great big Beethoven dogs, and she drug her dog back into the house. She's never complained to us about our dog. Everything happened so fast. I called animal control to find out my rights. Animal control refused to come out. The landlord came out. He asked me to let the dogs out. I let them out one by one. First, I let out Valkyrie. Then I let out Primo. He came out the door, sniffed him, and all he said was that he was a big dog. Put Primo back in the house, and he said that he was going to serve us with a 7-day notice to get out. And it was 2 days before Christmas Eve.
Okay, so what kind of dog is Valkyrie?
She is a 3-legged terrier.
And how about the other one?
Black Lab Rottweiler mix. And just to clarify, Your Honor, their dog is just as big, if not bigger, than both of our dogs. And they're always on a leash, Your Honor. She just started putting hers on a leash after the incident.
Okay, so as I understand it, what you're telling me is the neighbor had her door open,
Yes.
and your dog saw the door was open, ran into the apartment.
No, Your Honor.
No, the other way around. The
Her
other dog
dog
ran.
came running out of the apartment after us as we were coming in the door. Our dog was on leash. Her dog was off leash.
And which dog are we talking about, Valkyrie or Primo?
Primo. This one right here, Your Honor.
Is that the dog you showed to Mr. Green?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so that's the Black Lab Rottweiler mix. And
Yeah, he's registered to my son who has high functioning autism and epilepsy.
okay, he's some sort of support animal.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you said that Primo, as I think I heard it, grabbed the other dog by the fur.
No, Your Honor. No, the
Oh,
her dog
again,
by
I
the
didn't-
fur because her dog was not on a leash. So she had to
the
grab her
owner.
dog by the fur and drag him in.
All right, so she dragged her dog back to her apartment. Now, let me see what the police report says here. Looks like it's only one page. Is that what you've got?
Yes, Your Honor. The officer never even came to speak with us, so we didn't even believe that an officer had went there when we called animal control. Animal control refused to come out because there was no evidence of a dog bite and because her dog was off leash.
Was Mr. Tackett present when the incident occurred?
He came home from work early, and he was not here for it, Your Honor.
Okay.
He came through the door as Jason was downstairs speaking with me, giving me the papers.
Okay. Would you agree when you showed Primo to Mr. Green, he was barking and jumping up and down?
No, Your Honor, absolutely not. I let Primo out, and even while he was still shaking after being charged by the dog, he went out, sniffed him. Jason said the only thing that he said was, "Wow, he's a big dog." And I put Primo back in the house. He did not bark. He came out the door, sniffed him, and I put him back in the house.
Okay, and Valkyrie never came out?
Oh, I let both of them
either
out.
time?
Yes,
you
I
did.
let Valkyrie out first and then Primo. I let them out one by one. The
Okay,
laundry room is a small area, so I didn't want 2 adults and 2 dogs in the laundry. So I let one out, brought her in, and then I let Primo out.
Okay, let's go back to Mr. Green. Hang on just a minute. I gotta do this one person at a time, but I'll give you a chance here. So, Mr. Green, you're still under oath.
Yes.
Did you observe both dogs? Is it just the black lab Rottweiler mix that you were concerned about?
I did meet both of them that day. The little one, which I think she called Valkyrie, it seemed to have a different temperament, seemed fine. The black one that was in the picture, which I think is Primo, is the one that that seems to be a problem. The tenants had never complained about the littler dog. It was always the larger one that I've had previous complaints on.
Okay, so before we go any further with proofs, it sounds to me as though Ms. Carnahan, Mr. Tackett, you indicated a desire to move, maybe because of feeling that it's not going to work out with the other neighbors or whatever. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, we do want to move. We have been trying with it, everything going on. There's nowhere to move. We have been definitely trying. We don't want to stay in a place where we feel like our dog is attacked, and and people can't shut their door or put their dog on a leash. That puts our dogs at risk for things like this. We don't want to stay in a place like that.
Okay. Because what I'm thinking is maybe there's a way to resolve this without deciding one way or the other here, because I'm not sure how I would come down at this point. But what if, Mr. Green, you were to give the defendants a sufficient amount of time to find another home? I do hear this repeatedly, that there just aren't a lot of options out there, with some understanding about the way the animal would be handled going forward. I'm not sure what those restrictions would be, but what do you think about that?
I'd be willing to give them a month. I mean, they could, till the end of February seems reasonable.
Okay, what do you think about that, Ms. Carnahan and Mr. Tackett? What I'll tell you is, if I decided that, I haven't taken a look at the lease agreement, so I'm not exactly sure what it says about animals and what rights Mr. Green has under the lease agreement to make and to reassume possession. But if I were to rule in Mr. Green's favor, I would, by law, be required to allow you 10 days. Anything after 10 days, that would be up to the grace of Mr. Green, whether to allow more time. So the 30 days is actually generous, more than 30 days, because it isn't the end of January yet. We could adjourn this out 30 days, see if things have resolved with you finding another place, and then make a decision after that. But what I'm thinking is, in order giving you until the end of February to either move out or, I guess, alternatively rehome the dog. That doesn't sound like a good option for you at all. It sounds like your son's very attached and it's a support animal, but
Yes.
So what do you think about that, Ms. Carnahan?
We have been trying to find a place. everywhere that, I mean, we're willing to pay over $2,000 to move somewhere so that my son can keep his dog. We went to go look at a couple of places. One looked promising and it ended up falling through. We are looking. We're going to look at another one tonight. We just need time. That's all we're asking for. We're asking for honesty and time.
Okay, well, I can tell you that I've reviewed the police report. It is not helpful as far as determining exactly what happened here. There is a statement in here that the neighbor reported the dog was aggressive multiple times and that the neighbor's dog bit and pulled fur out of her dog. But the thing is, Rachel, the neighbor, is not here. I can't rely on hearsay, especially when it's contested what actually happened.
Your Honor.
So, yeah, okay, Mr. Tackett, I haven't given you an opportunity to say anything, but I do want to swear you in first before you make any statements. If you could raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what else would you like me to know?
Well, I think the important part that's being left out here is the room where this has happened, and it's happened numerous times. That part is true. But every time it's happened, it's a mutual laundry room that we have no choice but to use to enter and exit the building. We have to go through the laundry room. Whereas she only has to go in there to do laundry. The problem is when she comes in to do her laundry, she leaves the door to her house, the access point from her house to the laundry room. She leaves the door wide open with her dog off the leash. So what happens is while I'm at work, Krista goes to take one of the dogs out to the bathroom, and on the way back in, she just so happens to be doing laundry with her door wide open, and her dog rushes out at us. It's happened numerous times. That is true. But every time it's happened, it is actually her dog being the aggressor. And besides that point, there's been numerous times where I come home from work in the evening, and they're letting their dog out in the yard off leash, and it has approached me aggressively. And I just took it like a man, no offense. I didn't want to be the neighbor that was calling and complaining. When I didn't want to be that guy who's already making problems. But unbeknownst to me, she was actually turning it around and making us and our dogs sound like the aggressor. When my dogs have never left this building, not on a leash and not on a choke chain, for situations like this. I can assure you that we try to avoid these situations because we love our dogs. The problem is we have to access that laundry room to exit the building, and she's in there with her door wide open, with no care in the world, with her dog off the leash. And I think that's the point that everybody's missing, is we have no choice but to do this. She's in there willingly, and she says, I think in the report, she says something about feeling threatened by our dog. Well, why is the door to your house wide open? If you're so scared of my dog, why was this the first time this was brought to our attention on December 23rd if it had been going on for months? Nobody made us aware. Nobody brought it to our attention because it was actually the opposite. Our dogs are on a chain. Our dogs are on a choke chain, a leash. Her dog is the one coming out of her house because she leaves her door wide open.
Okay.
I think that's
all right.
really...
Okay, thank you. So I did not see a lease agreement attached to the complaint, Mr. Green. Is there a written lease agreement?
There is.
Okay, so that would be another thing I would want to review before making any decision in this case.
And I don't think that was included.
Okay, so Ms. Carnahan, Mr. Tackett, what I'd like you to do is, I'm going to mute you. You can turn your camera off if you like, but I'd like you to discuss the proposal rather than me making a decision here that one of you is not going to like. I'm wondering again if you'd be willing to agree to the 30 days or 32 days or whatever it is.
We are, Your Honor. We don't need time to think about it. We're willing to agree to it.
Yeah.
You are? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is it an eviction or are we being asked to leave? Will this go on our record?
Okay, so let me explain it for all of you. I'm going to call this a consent agreement, and it's going to indicate that the plaintiff does have the right to recover possession of the property, but that the plaintiff can apply for an order evicting the defendants only if they do not move out by March 1st. So this is not an order of eviction, it's an order of possession, okay? And it will also read that the defendants could be liable for money damages if after moving out there's additional rent owed or damage to the property. Acceptance of partial payments wouldn't prevent the court from granting an eviction. There's no money judgment entered. There was no money judgment requested. That's not what this is about. And this is the thing. Mr. Green will have to contact the court if you're still residing there on March 1st and ask for an order of eviction. Now, Mr. Green, if he could just do that automatically and say, I'm not willing to give any grace, but I'm guessing that if you came to him and you showed him all the places you've applied and all the places, or that you've got something lined up and you can't be out for another 5 days, or you can't move in for another week or something like that, he would probably hold off on asking for that order of eviction. But that's only because I've talked to him today and he seems like a reasonable person, and I can't guarantee what he would do after March 1st if you're still residing there. But this is not an order of eviction. He has to separately request that only after he submitted a form affirming that you're still living there on March 1st, okay? So you understand that, Mr. Green? It'll be up to you whether you want to go forward with the order of eviction. That is important. It's significant because it makes it more difficult to rent in the future if you've had an order of eviction. And so you want to avoid that at all costs, Ms. Carnahan and Mr. Tackett. And I'm sure Mr. Green gets that as well. So let's see, the order would be, do I have your consent? Are you agreeing to that order, Ms. Carnahan and Mr. Tackett?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Tackett, you also?
He says yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Green, is that acceptable to you?
Yes, the March 1st.
And the other thing I think that should be included is that defendants agree both dogs are to be leashed at all times.
Yes.
All three dogs?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just saying your dogs because Rachel is not here to defend herself. So your dogs are to be leashed at all times when in public areas of the building, which you've already said you're doing, so that shouldn't be an issue. You agree to that?
Yes.
Okay, so you do have a right to, change your mind about this agreement within the next 3 business days. So that would be Thursday, Friday, and Monday. You just need to let the court know if for some reason you decided this wasn't in your best interest, we'd set it for a hearing. That doesn't mean it would be set aside, but I would listen to your arguments. There's also an appeal period till February 8th, and if there's nothing else, that is the agreement. I do think that this kind of meets halfway between what the parties hope to achieve, and I wish you, Ms. Carnahan, and you, Mr. Tackett, best of luck finding a new place. And is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Green, anything else for you?
No, thank you.
Okay, you'll both get a copy of this order, and that's it for today, and appreciate the parties working things out. I know it's tough.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep.